Refunct. Have you heard that name for a game before? Maybe you have heard of it. Jacksepticeye did play it a couple years ago. If you don't know what Refunct is a game that was made 5 years ago by an indie developer named Domonique, who has a YouTube and a Twitter account that you can look at to see updates on games that he's made in the past, even if they do rarely even come out. You can find these games on Steam or even on one of your consoles now. Most recently was a game named Swarm Lake, an FPS that you fight an endless swarm of enemies in an arena. His first game, Refunct, a first-person stealth platformer that slowly evolved into the game I want to review today, being Refunct, a game that I dearly love after seconds of playing it. Refunct is extremely cheap, and I suggest you go play it right now. Buy it. It's only $3 as of right now. For those who have an itch for a game like Mirror's Edge, this is definitely good for you as it was for me, even Jacksepticeye. When you start playing the game, the first thing you'll notice is the music. It'll be calm and slow, and it was made by Singto Conley in his album Connections. For how calm the music is, it reminds me of a game called Fez, a 2.5D game with Disasterpeace as the composer for the music. It's so relaxing whenever it needs to be. Just the same as in Refunct, it's slow, calm, relaxing, but it has a steady increase of speed for you to follow. You notice that as you walk around, the ground underneath you keeps getting added a patch of grass, of whatever color it may be. As you keep going, you see a button releasing a red beam up into the sky, as far as you can see. When you press it, a little music cue plays. Ahead of you, you see more land coming out from the ocean in front of you. This is the game's purpose. As you could tell at this point, the gameplay revolves around you going onto different paths that you didn't walk on before, and pressing more buttons to get more land to go onto. But as you play the game, you'll notice these weird cubes that were also featured in Refunct. Collecting your first cube rewards you with an achievement called Hello. These lines of achievements, as you collect more cubes, continue a conversation. This conversation evolves from a simple greeting all the way to life questions. Funny to think that the game's asking you for your reasons than you asking the game's reasons for its existence. Seems as though there's no explanation needed, as it's just a game to be here for you to play. As you keep pressing more buttons, you'll see more features along the path, like elevators for instance, you can jump off to go even higher, or spring pads for you to jump off of, or even pipes that'll send you flying if it goes upwards. After understanding the game in mere minutes, you think it's going to keep going, and then you see a yellow button instead of the normal red ones that you've seen along the entire game. As you go along and go to the yellow button, it sends you flying high into the air. You get to see the work you've done, and seeing that all the paths made up a heart, with a phrase underneath it saying, "Love you," a phrase that finishes up the achievement conversation from before. Once you've 100%ed the game, fireworks will go flying up into the air from every single button you've pressed beforehand. Once you go over to a random button of your choosing, your paths will now be a different color, whatever it may be. After roughly 10 minutes of playing the game, you'll notice that there are more achievements to be done. And as soon as I played the game, I wanted to get all these achievements. For how much I loved the game already, I wanted to play it as much as I could. And these achievements are a bit odd. It's just speedrunning the game or trying to get as low percent as you can. And again, as the other achievements are done, it's more conversation to be had, and one of them asking if it's gonna be a goodbye. After roughly an hour and a half, I was able to 100% the achievements. The map is always set to be the same exact pattern as you play every single time. So if you're as forgetful as me, doing the achievements for beating the game under 8 and 4 minutes, it's gonna take a while. And as soon as I finished these achievements, I knew that I would be playing this game much more afterwards. To finish off this, I have a couple things to say if there were to be a second Refunct. If Refunct were to get more, I look at it as Spiral 1 and 2. I had loved Spiral 1. It gives you a base kit, and if you're smart, you're rewarded with 100% completion. Meanwhile, in Spiral 2, there's constant backtracking to areas that you couldn't get to in the first place. I don't look at that as fun. If there are anything added, it would have to be external than a new ability here and there. But if it's not a new Refunct, maybe an update or even a small thing opening up the workshop for the players. People have speedrun this game constantly, and they've even made up weird ideas like crouch percent. They just go through the entire game crouching. We've even played through the game normally under 3 minutes. I think people want something new after 5 years, and it shows fully possible that Domonique would want to update his previous games. Like, he updated Storm like 5 months ago, even though the game came out multiple years ago. But that's all I have to say for an update or a new Refunct, or even a game styled like Refunct. Anyways, that's about it that I had on my mind about this extremely good game that I want people to know. And it shows that a lot of people love the game. And now for the whole thank you for watching. Make sure to do whatever you want to help me out in any way, whether it be constructive criticism or just simply just saying this was decent. I hope that I persuaded you into checking this game out in any way. Anyways, thank you and have a great day and night cycle.